it's open back trucks, and I believe one compactor truck you have. I stand to be corrected. Whether or not your municipality or your local government does that, you have to look at the overhead cost and the expenditure that it will take to operate those compactor trucks like we have access to in the city for the service that we are getting. The cost is extremely high to run and operate those trucks if you have it in-house, and even if it was or were to be outsourced, the cost for anyone is extremely high based on what I've seen and how I've studied it with the Stewardship Solid Waste Management Authority at the time I was the councillor. So it's that again within
yes,
itself.
Carla, but you, Carla, just one little thing there, Carla, because where do you think the company that you subcontract garbage to, where do you think they get the money to service their compactors, if not from the same money that you pay them to pick up the garbage?
Okay.
So it's a management issue.
Yes.
Not a
where you
funding issue.
where you capitalize to get your investment from, to purchase almost immediately, to get the facility. I mean the trucks, the management system, the mechanic system, your IT system, because these are hydraulic trucks. Correct? Okay, good. At the time, the running of the dump site, whilst we had it in our care, it cost us about $1 million plus per annum. $1 million plus per annum. From time to time, you know, we have what we refer to as high and low season. Fuel is a major cost.
Right. That's why I'm saying it's an issue of management of the money, not the money itself. Because
right,
they take the money that you pay them, and they service all their vehicles, pay all their staff, and have a profit at the end of every year.
And I say that with this caveat in mind, Professor.
Yeah. Yeah.
We fall back sometime at current, maybe I believe 9 to 12 p.m. Okay? And then thereafter we try to catch up in our high season.
Mm-hmm.
No, they have to capitalize and hold up that company for the time that we don't pay them, you know.
Yeah.
You understand me?
All right.
And if you check out the local costs to run and upkeep a company like that, and maybe you can interview them and see how they do it, and see if it is even easy for them to do it. When we did a study, when we would have started to buy out and try to see if the council could have done it, it would have cost us to build from the ground up upwards of about $10 million. You understand? So you could see the initial outlay capital input you would need.
Thank you very much.
So
introduce yourself before I introduce you, man.
Excuse me?
Introduce yourself before you go.
My name is Councillor Philip Willoughby.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for calling us this morning, because wealth of information. Thank you very much, Philip, and great to hear from you this morning. Because we have about 13 more minutes to go, so if you have any comments or questions, now is the time. We have quite a few text messages that have been coming in. Also, Carla, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Carla. Good morning.
Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning.
What I heard us talking about the Constitution, and the law. Maybe we should get some constitutional lawyers in this country to look over it and see if any individual or so could go above our constitutional law, because the law is the law. If the law is the law and we don't abide by the law, then why have a law? And one more thing, there will be this in the Mapandi this morning the meeting with the black. I was listening to just last week, Mr. Gordon, and he was saying that it is not right that this somebody who will be holding the meeting today is is appropriate. It's not. It's the host. The host there thinking of the law. The host thinking. Anyway, this meeting that we held today doesn't mean anything. Why?
Oh, okay, thank you very much. I think that's another important point that you're bringing up here. The PAC. Remember we said that the 4 members had stayed behind after the meeting had been concluded. They said the meeting wasn't done. There is a new agenda that was placed there with a new schedule, and that is today. That schedule starts today. So the PAC meeting. All right, next, let's take a look at some text messages. This person says, did you find the meaning of filigree? This person said filigreed. No, I'll go look at it. This person says, good morning, just want to know why the parade wasn't broadcast on TV. I'm not liable to go out and was watching TV as the only way, that is the only way I can see it. Other text messages coming in. This person says, don't worry, God is going to take care of us. This person, other person says, Barrow thinks, okay, let me put that in another way. They bring up the homosexual thing on Independence Day. I did not get the full speech, but my friend told me that that was so. He seems to talk now. Some people don't even pay much attention to him on this or his cronies. Some people probably only wanted the parade. All right, very good. Some of these texts are just a little bit too ranchy, right? So we won't go there. This person says, Kubuli Bear battles all over Independence Village. There are open battles everywhere. A man was stabbed in the throat because of this 8 for 3 special. Where does KC import wants their battles? Where do they want to do with their battles? Another text message says, what will be Belize Action's response to the Prime Minister's speech? I am not sure. Carla, good morning. You're on the air live.
Don't get the picture. Filigree is that jewelry that people use of either solid gold mixed with silver, but it's a jewelry that ladies use, which intertwined, you know, things. It's a very special jewelry that they made, quite different from just the ordinary thing, but it's a filigree. It's made of intertwined, you would say, gold or metal. Passaway Park. There are standing rules and orders that controls the action of each host committee. That PAC Public Accounts Committee is mandated, the only committee where it is a must that the chairman has to be a member of the opposition. To change that, that matter has to be taken back to the House and let the House amend that condition, and then you could come back and form another committee. But you cannot form a committee by only members. There is a special committee called in the House, which is Means and Ways Committee.
Ways and Means? Ways and Means. Okay.
Yes, and also there is another one that dictates with the composition of committees. So this cannot be done. It is illegal to have a meeting without having got the authority from the House on an amendment to that special committee whereby the opposition, the chairman must be an opposition. This has been in existence from both political parties. So I don't see how anything can result on this matter. Of course, there are things that have to be brought into mind. Who can be a check and balance? The Governor General? The Ombudsman? Because this is part of governance. You cannot govern, you cannot add it yourself. You cannot add it yourself. You have to get, and that's why the reason why we decided at that time to create these committees that will oversee what the legislature is dealing with so that the public have the means to go and make representation. And in fact, this committee should go to the district, not only Belmopan. We had in the past committees of the House that go to each district to consult the people whether this is good or bad, whatever bill is presented. So let us watch and see now how our democracy works.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Don Hector. This person says, Mr. Wade, we have natural and supernatural laws. Supernatural laws belong to God. There is nothing natural about the homosexual behavior. Because of the structure of governance and practices that we have witnessed, we have to stop this runaway train. That's what the person says. We have to call for a no confidence. And then one more text message. This person says, Mennonite background, religious background, Penner should have been given a good example. And I think that's where we need to finish off for today. It's 9:24 in the studios of Rise and Shine. But let me say this morning, that the church is the conscience of the nation. And I think that when the conscience speaks, it doesn't speak very often, but when it speaks, I think it is a good opportunity to listen. I believe for sure, and I can stay here and I can state here confidently that the church is not interested in violating anybody's rights. The church is not interested in discriminating against anybody. But the truth of the matter is everybody discriminates. I talked to you about political discrimination. It is rampant within our nation. You discriminate because you have to decide what kind of teacher you want to teach your picnic. I want this, I want somebody who is upright, upstanding, this, that. It's not just a matter of qualifications. It's also about the morality and the other issues of your teachers and the people that you want represent you. That's why we call the men in the house honorable, because we expect that those who will make laws for us, they must be not just qualified academically, but they must have a moral basis to them. The church is a conscience. I state categorically that the church is not the one souring the harmony and disrupting the rhythm of Belizean life. It's just your conscience talking to you. That's what the church is. It's saying, hey, slow down. But I will say this categorically. Nobody can give the church the right or take away the church right to propagate the gospel. It will do so even in the midst of great persecution. That is what the church does. Whether the law is with it or against it, the church must speak with authority about right and wrong. Not just its understanding, but the truth of the matter. But we have said here on Rise and Shine, it is not an issue of the church, Because when you make this issue a human right, you cannot give, after you don't make it a human right, you cannot give the church a break. You cannot say, this is a human right, and everybody will observe the human right, but let's write it off for the church. For the church, no, you don't have to treat it as a human right. The way human rights work is once you declare it a human right, everybody, including the church, must abide by it. That's why we said from the very beginning, this is not a human right. It's a human wrong. And finally, it's not about the church and preach. That's not what churches do. Churches don't just preach. They live it. Who is the church? It's the people. And so if you are a Belizean voter, right? It's not the church. It is you, the Belizean person, who after you sit down in a church and you go out into the world and want to put what the church propagate. The problem is not the propagation. The problem is the putting into practice what you learn. That is where the rubber meets the road. That is why people marched. That is why, as I travel from north, south, east, and west, people are concerned, because they recognize it's not the church propagation that is the issue. It's when you put what the church teach into action in your business and in your public service. That is the crux of the matter. So the church might get a write-off, but will you get one? From all of us here at Plus TV, from all of us here at Rise and Shine, God bless you. See you tomorrow.